Hunch, like all games by Absolute Zero, is designed to give players a fun way to practice a foundational math concept that many kids struggle with. In Hunch, players must practice the art of making a guess and then determine how far off their guess or hunch was from the card that was actually drawn. This difference goes beyond basic elementary subtraction. The Hunch deck includes positive and negative numbers. The Hunch cards teach players to use a number line to find the difference or distance between the two numbers. Hunch is a fun, steampunked theme card game. The Hunch deck contains cards numbered from +5 all the way down to -5. There are 7 Hunch or wild cards, as well as directions for play and an example of the scorecard needed for each player. Printed on each card is a vertical number line to assist players in determining the difference between their hunch and the number drawn. The objective of Hunch is to have a final score closest to 0. After my first round, I was at a +2. Now it's time to make a guess or my hunch. This hunch can be anything from +5 to -5. I'm going to guess a -1 based on the cards that have already been drawn. Now it's time to draw, and I get a 3. The difference between the -1 that I guessed and the 3 can be determined by counting on the card. If I had a -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, how far off was my hunch? It was 4 away. Now I get to determine, do I want to add or subtract this 4 from my running total? Because I want to be closest to 0, I want to subtract that 4. So 2 take away 4 is -2. And once again, the number line can be used for this. If you're at 2 and you go down 4, you're at -2. When it comes time for my turn again, I'm going to make another hunch. And based on the cards that I've seen being drawn in this game, I'm going to guess that it'll be a 2. I draw, and it's a hunch card. Hunch cards are like a wild card. They're set aside for the time being. You draw for your card, and this time I got a -5. If I wanted to after this, I could go and change my hunch to give me the difference I want, to give me the running score that I need, or at least closer to 0. I'm going to choose to save my hunch card to use on the 4th or 5th round when I know what I need to get 0 at the end. So I drew a -5, the difference between 2 and -5, and I can use the number line to count again, is 7. I can determine, do I want to add or subtract the 7? And since I'm at a -2, I want to get closer to 0, so I'm going to add the 7, and I will be at +5. This continues for 5 rounds, and the person closest to 0 at the end wins. We're now at round 5. My hunch was a 0. I drew a 2. I know the difference now is going to be a 2, but I'm at a running score of 4, and I want to get to 0 if I can. So I'm going to employ my hunch card. That means I can change my hunch to give me the difference I want. The card drawn was a +2. 1, 2, 3, 4. To get the difference of 4, I want to change my hunch to a -2. The difference between -2 and +2 is 4. I need to subtract the 4 to get to 0, and then I win the game.